Bizarre Brain Comics.
Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, we're going to go back to the Cold War era in the 1960s. To take a look at Gold Keys, the Girl from U.N.C.L.E. It's from 1967, issue number 5. And you might say, what is this? I don't know anything about it. Well, we're going to find out. The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. is an American fictional espionage live-action TV show starring Stephanie Powers. It aired on the NBC network for one season in 66 and 67. And it was a spinoff from the immensely popular Man from U.N.C.L.E. show. And it was even, they even used the same Jerry Goldsmith composed theme music as the original show. Now, Jerry Goldsmith is very well known for his work on movies, primarily the composer of many of the Star Trek movie soundtracks. The best known, of course, for Star Trek the Motion Picture theme, which was then later reused for the Star Trek The Next Generation theme. But he did a lot of other music there too. And Stephanie Powers, I can't talk, portrayed the she-spy April Dancer, and Noel Harrison portrayed her British partner Mark Slate, with Uncle Boss Leo G. Carroll's Mr. Waverly. As well as comic books, the show spawned a series of 5 original novels and a digest magazine featuring short stories and novellas. And Gold Key Comics published a 5-issue run of the title. And in my research, I couldn't find credits, writer or artist credits. So I don't know who did the work here. Who was carrying the load. And these were all photo covers. Of course, there is the very lovely Stephanie Powers. She was very young and beautiful and a very fine actress. And of course, she is probably best known for her role on many years later in the Heart to Heart TV series. And then you may be wondering, what is U.N.C.L.E? Well, U.N.C.L.E stood for United Network Command for Law and Enforcement. It was just an acronym to spell out U.N.C.L.E. They had to kind of twist it. And of course, the word uncle is derived from Uncle Sam, of course. But the agency, U.N.C.L.E. agency, was an international organization. As in, the Man from U.N.C.L.E. had Napoleon Solo and Ilya Kuryakin. So an American and a Russian agent working together. So we'll take a little look. Remember, this is spy type, and it's the Girl from U.N.C.L.E. Kooky, spooky adventure. And there's nothing spooky about it. I don't know why. And then here, another photo pin up on the back, and someone has gone crazy with a pen and scribbled in her face. I bet you it was a girl, and done scribbling on the front cover as well. Then some more photos from the show on the inside cover. Let's see anything on the and on the inside back cover. So it's just loaded with photos from the show. And the title of this show, this story is The Harem Scarum Affair. I wonder if they got the title from the Elvis Presley movie. And part 1, The Camels Are Coming. Okay, and it's has a tow plane with pulling a sailplane or a glider, and they release because there's another plane coming. It's an older biplane coming and is menacing the tow plane. Brap! Machine guns firing, and it looks like the tow plane is a DC-3 or something similar. It could be an Electra. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask my wife, but it's a pretty nice rendition of it. And we see this is April Dancer and I've forgotten his name. Mark Slate in the glider, and they get away and bring the glider down for a landing on their mission. They cover it up to hide it, to kind of camouflage it, but then camel troops. Of course, this is at night or under cover of night. Fire a bright magnesium flare, which blinds them and startles the camels, and they allowing them to get through. And they contact home base, talking to Mr. Waverly. Now, the artwork, I did a very nice job of getting the resemblances of the actors, primarily Leo G. Carroll here as Mr. Waverly, as well as Noel Harrison as Mark Slate. While the April Dancer faces are very lovely, the resemblance is a little bit more iffy, but it's fine because she's a lovely lady in any regards. And well, be kind of hard to screw up that face. It's just to see a little bit more of the style. Now, I don't know who the artists are, but I get a very strong Frank Boll impression from this. But the inking is a completely different style. Frank Boll normally inked his own pencils, but I am thinking maybe Frank Boll did the pencils, or at least layouts, looser pencil, not tight pencils, and then the inker, who has a different inker, came through and did the finishes, tightened it up and did the finishes, and has a very organic inking style. So there they are. They're trying to get to the place, and they're menaced by the plane, and they're captured. Now the whole deal is about this one sheik has been producing an inordinate amount of oil, and has been disrupting the international oil prices by undercutting the price of OPEC. And so they're here to check it out, and they're captured. They get out of their prison with some little Uncle Gizmos, but they're immediately captured again. Mark is taken to the power generator, where they have people on treadmills generating electricity for the palace. And of course, April Dancer is taken to the harem. Well, she doesn't like being in the harem, and she takes out the guard, but standing on a trapdoor, whoop, she's splashed out into a tank full of crude oil, and then this thing descends. It is an extremely hot poker, slowly descending to ignite the oil. Then we have a text page with a little bit of espionage history, a backup story, a short backup story, has nothing to do with Uncle. Then we have some pages of some gag cartoons, a text page of jokes, and some more gag cartoons, and then a page of mini comics with 18 panels, including the title. And that could be like 3 pages. Then back to April in peril. So she gets as her communicator contacts Mark and says, "Help! I'm in trouble." So he gets his cohorts on the treadmill to increase their speed to generate too much power and blow the fuses and neutralizing the threat to April. Then she uses one of her gizmos to help her get out of the oil tank, and she gets there and frees Mark. We'll free the rest of these guys later. Here's some nice. This is a really nice face right here. That is a really nice face. I wonder if that was from photo reference. And they see the deal. He's stealing oil from the pipelines and then sending it through as his own while putting pseudo oil, which sounds incredibly expensive, to produce millions of gallons of fake oil in the original pipelines. And it said it'll be months before anybody notices the difference. So they're going around getting the guns, brap, 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 taken out or dissuading the guards. Now, the funny thing is, when my research, I discovered that in the show, April was not allowed, by the producers in the stories, was not allowed to use deadly force, which seems odd to me because the male characters could. But she did in the both in novels and obviously here in the comics, using those machine guns, even if she's not killing anybody, that is deadly force. So Mark gets on the plane. They need some help, and because they're setting up the pilot, he nearly loses it. He takes out the pilot and brings the plane around and to dissuade the Camel Corps. And April starts an oil fire, brap, 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 and everything is total disaster. Everyone is, the bad guys are captured. The Sheik is captured, and the plot is discovered and done away with. And then, of course, Mr. Waverly is happy at the outcome. And that is the end of the story. Then we have another page of gag. In this case, it's gag strips, and a page in the back of a little bit of history. So that is a fun little book. Fun, but a bit of nostalgia. Have you ever seen the Girl from U.N.C.L.E. episodes? I haven't seen any in years. But I do have at least one of the novels. And I'm not sure if this is the only issue of Girl from U.N.C.L.E. that I've got. But I do have a couple of Man from U.N.C.L.E. and several of the novels and a couple of seasons of the TV show on DVD. And I remember from when I was a kid, and I always liked the Man from U.N.C.L.E. and the Girl from U.N.C.L.E. And they were a lot of fun, and I still enjoy occasionally watching them. So then that is all I've got for you this time for The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. from Gold Key Comics. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell me what you think of The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. Do you think it's a silly idea? I think they just should. Why they call it Girl from U.N.C.L.E.? She's an adult woman. So why not the woman from U.N.C.L.E.? But this was the 60s, right? The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of The Girl from U.N.C.L.E., the shows, the books, any of that stuff that you may have had contact or consumed. Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics, even when they have photo covers, are art.